Ready Player One is a new film from director Steven Spielberg and is based on the novel of the same name from writer Ernest Cline, who also pens the script, along with screenwriter Zach Penn. Now, I'm just going to say up front, I never read the book. I never even heard of the book before this movie, so I can't really judge it for how it did adaptation wise. But I've honestly heard mixed things from it. I've heard a lot of negatives from it, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is the film. And as for the film, it's alright. It's pretty good. I had a fun time with it. However, I do have some problems with it, and we'll get to all of those. As for the acting, it's pretty good all around. Ty Sheridan is really good, although his character isn't that three-dimensional, but he has a lot of fun in the role, as does everybody else, and you gotta commend them for that. Everybody's very likable, and so you can believe the performances, even if the characters aren't written to the full potential. Another standout is Ben Mendelson as the villain. Ben Mendelson is always great. He's very over the top, as he usually is. You might have seen him in Rogue One. He plays the villain in that. He's very, very fun, and I liked him. And another standout, honestly, was Mark Rylance as James Halliday. I didn't know it was Mark Rylance when I saw the movie. I thought he was a different person. I thought the actor that was playing James Halliday was somebody completely different. And when I found out it was Mark Rylance, I was blown away. He was really, really good. He's obviously in this movie because of his relationship with Steven Spielberg. They've worked with each other in the past. But the acting overall is very good and a plus in the film. The visuals are also very good in the film, to a fault. It's very mesmerizing to look at. The film is very epic. It does get tiresome to look at. The film itself looks very bland with a darker tint. Looks just kind of gray and dull, and even the Oasis itself, which is supposed to be this vibrant alternate reality almost, and it's just not as unique or cool looking as it could have been. It just kind of looks very generic. The film does rely a whole lot on CGI. In fact, 85% of the movie is CGI. I'm not going to fault the film for that, because for the most part the CGI looks great. However, when there's a lot of it together, it does become nauseating to look at. When I was near the end of the film, there's this huge battle that you see in the trailers, and there's just so much there, and it's just almost hard to look at. I couldn't imagine seeing this in 3D. But I'm not saying all of it is bad. It's just probably that last part that just kind of gets to me. Other than that, it's fine. Standout parts in the film are also, there's a scene where they almost pay homage to The Shining, which is funny because it's clear that Steven Spielberg had a lot of passion in this, because Steven Spielberg, if y'all know, was friends with Stanley Kubrick, who directed The Shining. He does so well at creating the scenes from The Shining. I almost thought that they were overlapping footage of The Shining with the characters from the movie, or maybe they filmed it. I'm not sure, but it just looks really good, and there was a lot of care put into that scene. The scene is also really violent. This film just takes a notch. Like, it goes from like 7 to like a 10 instantly. I don't want to spoil too much because the scene needs to be seen for itself. It's really fun and a standout in the film. Overall, The adventure that Wade goes on is really fun. However, for some negatives, the film is just too long. It starts out extremely slow. Like the first 15 minutes, they just have a big exposition dump in the first 15 minutes with this voiceover from Wade, and it just tells me information that could easily be shown visually, and it just takes so long for the film to get going. The film is about 2 hours and 20 minutes. You could have easily made this 2 hours. There is no need for it. And the third act does get tiresome. You think you're at the end, you have this climactic fight, but then the film just keeps going and going, and I just kind of got tired and I wanted it to end, which isn't a good sign. The film is just really hard to get into, honestly, but it does get better as the film goes along. I was really bored in the beginning, but I found myself really enjoying myself by the end. And also, the end has the typical Spielberg schmaltz, but not to the equivalent or the quality of his other films. It's just, it doesn't hit home because I just don't think this story holds up as well as his other films that he's made that hold up way more better. But the film overall is fun to a fault. It has a lot of ambition, but it has a lot wrong with it, such as pacing and not that much character development, such as like a romance in the film that just kind of happens and it doesn't really develop much. I don't know who these characters are. In fact, there's a bunch of characters that appear halfway through the film, and by the end of the film, the movie's acting like I know them, but I don't even remember their names. Otherwise, the film's all right. It's fun and I'll say easily disposable. You could watch this movie and you don't have to see it again. Honestly, I might get a lot of flack for this, but I'd rather watch Spy Kids 3D again. I'm a big fan of Spy Kids 3D. I know it's bad, but I don't know. There's just something more rewatchable about that than this. Even though I did enjoy myself. But anyway, all that said, guys, Ready Player One is a messy film. It's a fun film. It's generic. It's predictable. You could predict what's going to happen in the film from the very beginning. However, it does have some heart to it. It does have some really good acting and performances. And it's Spielberg, guys. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. And as an announcement, I've got a new catch-up video coming out for the month of March. And I've also got a new video coming out later this month that you guys should really enjoy. And I hope you tune in to that as well. Other than that, all I can tell you is like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next review. Bye.